Musa's musical melting pot. I'm here, and it's a blessing to be with you.
That was insane. That was yo.
Thank you.
Bravo. Hello, everybody. Hello. My name is Martin Musaubach, but here in Taiwan, everybody calls me Musa. Today, it's a very special. I am very happy that we have a diva in the house. Please, everybody, make noise. Yeah. A ver, singer, songwriter, actress, model, and the hardest and most important work of them all for me personally, I think, is mother, right? So yeah, come on. Give it up for Roxanne Barcelo.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Hi, Musa.
From straight from the Philippines to Taipei.
Right.
So I just did the introduction, yeah. But I always like to ask because, sorry. She's super huge in the Philippines, right? So that I am going to ask her this, it's not really okay, but she's really nice. So yeah. So like, how would you like to introduce yourself?
How do I like to introduce myself?
Like let's say my sister in Argentina,
Okay.
right, or my dad, or right, they are watching the show and they would like to know.
To your sister and
Yeah,
to your family
yeah.
in Argentina.
Yeah.
I'm Roxanne Barcelo.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a good cook. You can come to my kitchen. I'll cook for you.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I love to sing. I love to act.
Yeah.
Right now, I love being a mother and a wife. And we all live in Taiwan. And every day is kind of new and fresh, meeting new people every day. And I guess, this is me now.
Yeah. So yeah, because if you search, you will find, I think, different layers or different stages of your own personal development, right?
Yeah.
The growth of your own, let's say, your soul, right?
Totally, the soul.
Yeah.
For sure.
So you've been here since 2022, no?
So 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
2023, 2022. Yeah.
Okay. May I ask, how would you describe your experience so far?
My experience so far.
Did you know Taiwan before?
I went here once
Yes.
with my husband
Yeah.
for Christmas
Yeah.
and New Year's, and we had a lot of fun. And we were just dating. We just started dating during that
Nice.
time. That was pre-COVID.
Oh, right at the moment where everything
right
was
before.
about to, yeah.
And then I guess it was just such a wonderful experience. And when COVID happened, we were in the Philippines, and we would just hear of how Taiwan was still open, doing great, just thriving during this time.
Yeah.
From an outside perspective, it was really amazing to hear. And like, wow, like they're really doing well out here in Taiwan. I don't know.
Yeah, not many people knows that, like when I had to explain again to my family back home, quite a bit about this, because they really didn't know. We had I kept playing. I had friends living in New York, whatever. Like they had to maybe sell instruments, or things shut down.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once the inertia of something stops, it's very hard to. You don't go back to. So yeah.
It felt like a reset for sure.
Yeah.
For for me,
Yeah.
it felt like a reset. During that time, I was actually supposed to work on a soap opera with a TV station, and something insane really happened. The TV station was shut down, and it was just like very devastating for a lot of us, but a lot of the people who were working with the station for decades. And it was just, I guess it was an eye-opener. I've been in the industry in the Philippines ever since I was 13.
Yeah, I was going to go there later. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, mom brain.
No, just please, come
My
on.
experience in Taiwan for the past 2.5 years has really been an expansion of soul, as you were saying. I feel like the music, the quiet, the rhythm, the pace, the difference is good.
Right?
It's good for me. I think it's good for the family.
I come from Latin America, right? From South America. And I definitely get what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely get what you're talking about. Yeah, the different paces.
It's a different pace.
Yes.
Different cadence.
Yes, totally. So wait, let's go. Let's start from the beginning. Like,
Go ahead.
I read several articles, and the age varies, but between 8 and 10, you won your first singing competition in the U.S. because you were born and raised until 13, till teenage years
Nailed
in the
it.
U.S. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
So that competition, you were a kid.
Yeah.
Did you personally wanted to sing? Like, you were like, yo, mom, dad, let's go? Or they were like, I think she can do this, let's bring her. How was it?
I definitely wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Back then,
Yeah.
you would see, how do you say it, commercials on the newspaper.
Yeah.
Or ads in the newspaper. And then we'd read together, and then they'd spot something, I'd spot something, and then I'd be like, oh, I want to go, I want to join.
Yeah.
And you know how it is when you're a kid. There's no fear. There's no sense of...
No, there is no filter.
There's no filter, exactly. And I just was very excited to try something new. And there was a prize. And
Yeah, and you got it.
I was raised with, a reward system. And I was like, I want that.
And you got it, and you got
I got it.
And then you moved when you were a teenager to the Philippines, right?
Almost at the cusp.
At the
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
At the so we all know teenage years are complicated, right? So it was hard for you to leave the place. It was hard for you to move at that age.
Thankfully, my parents spoke to me in Filipino in our home.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, I knew the language through and through. I knew how to speak it, and I understood it, but I didn't know how to write it.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know how to read it, but that's what I learned in school. The hard part, I guess, was leaving family and friends behind in Virginia and not really understanding what that meant until we got to homeland.
Yeah.
When, as soon as we got to the Philippines, that's the only time I realized, oh, we're not coming back.
Right?
Wow.
That hit
And
you.
then I guess digesting that and trying to understand that at a very young age, it was kind of tough. It was very tough, along with, every teenager has to go through, like what you're saying, teenage things and being in a new campus, new school. I went to an all-girls school for high school.
Wow.
And that was all new to me because I went to a co-ed school prior. And just
But it's
little bits and pieces.
I feel that it's kind of like it happened again, like recently, because at a super important moment, right? Like falling in love or getting married, you also change places, right? So like junctures, right?
Yeah.
Moments. My English is not so. Moments that are really like that.
Yeah.
You have this thing with moving, like you did it back at that time at the teenage, and now your life changes again, and you also move to a new place. You're very brave, it seems, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, but what can I say?
I love to think of it as brave.
Yo, yeah. Yeah, like it's a risk, it's like,
It's kind of like that movie from Jim Carrey, Yes Man.
Yeah.
Just,
like,
yes.
let's
Yes to
do it.
everything. Let's do it.
But we're going to jump from a plane. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's apply. Okay.
let me keep going. A lot of people, like you're huge. So how was it to be huge in the Philippines, right?
Well, I'm only 5'3.5", so
huge.
I guess since I started so young, I didn't really understand that concept. For
Okay.
me, it was more of I like to sing, the basic. I love to act, and I just love the environment, like coming in today and
Yeah.
seeing like, whoa, cameras, lighting, like the whole production.
Yeah.
I took up communication arts, and I love, being behind the scene as well,
Yeah.
and, on cam. And I guess I just love communicating
Yeah.
through mediums. In the Philippines, it was really such a blessing because I would audition and line up with my parents. I was heavily supported by their love, and they were just yes parents as well. Like, yes,
Yeah.
let's do it. And they would really encourage me. And like any job,
Yeah.
at any age,
Yeah.
there are trials. And I encountered a few trials as well coming in very early on. And they just said, if you love what you're doing, don't give up.
Just keep going.
Just keep going. And I had continuously studied,
Yeah.
and I never stopped school.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. You even study classical music with a famous tenor, right? Or
Oh, I
baritone.
wish. I did study a little bit
Yeah.
with my teacher, Lionel
Yeah,
Rico.
yeah.
So good. It was such a blessing that I met him. Him and his wife are both vocal teachers. And even though I wasn't like singing all the time, I was mostly acting, I was still able to hone my love for singing.
Playing, it takes you someplace else, right?
It does.
Coming back is complicated. So, I don't know if I could go there. So, if you don't want to answer anything, please let me know. Okay,
I'll just be
You
quiet.
you look at me with a face like, yo, stop.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna, if it's possible, I would like to talk about your dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, because I saw the video, like I love that, right? I love that. First of all, I want to ask you something that is not really exactly related to the video, but in that video with you and your dad, behind both of you, there is a painting. There was a choice, or it was just there.
It was just there.
Okay, because I like.
But please enlighten me.
No. I just liked it, and I wanted to ask you.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Right, yeah, it looked beautiful also and I couldn't, like, I was looking at you both, but I couldn't stop looking at the paint. My wife paints, so yeah.
Oh,
but,
she's
yeah,
a painter?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is, yeah, it's two works. The other one is she's a writer. So yeah, I was like, wow.
color and words.
Yeah.
Ah, you both are artists. Amazing.
See.
What's her name?
Marina.
Marina.
Yeah, but everybody calls her Pipi. From Pipina, it's like a doll in Italian. Anyway, I like that painting. Okay, let's talk about your dad. So, Antonio.
Antonio.
Yes. How was it to grow up with a doctor in philosophy at your home?
Oh boy. He's the smartest man, most intelligent, compassionate. Nowadays, because I'm a new parent, I hear about gentle parenting, but long before I heard about gentle parenting, I know of it because my father really embodies gentle, loving, kind ways of teaching. And he's a professor.
Yeah.
He was a professor for many years. Him and my mother.
Yeah.
I can't discuss my father without talking about my mother because they go hand in hand, the yin and yang. Yeah. My parents, my father was such a humble man.
Yeah, he talked about that on the video, right?
That's right.
That was a really nice teaching, and it reminded me of my grandma. My grandma used to say, in English, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you got to listen more than what you talk, right?
I love that.
And your dad talked about humility, right? About conscious awareness, right? Yes. And you talked about alignment on that video. So my question is this also, like, what other teachings that you could sum up, the most important thing that you got from him?
Well, I know that there is a greater power that loves unconditionally
Yeah.
because my Father on earth loves unconditionally.
I like that. You said that. I like
And
that.
he filled me up with so much love throughout the many years of being there for me and seeing me for who I am, not judging me, but just loving me. And his words, his actions were always just choosing love.
Yeah.
One of my favorite, I don't know if it's the one I love the most,
Yeah.
but one I remembered recently is to wrap your words with sugar.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
No matter what you want to say, because, you know, when we're in relationships, whether it's with our partner, whether it's with our friends or family, or even someone we've just met, we can say the truth if we wrap it with a little bit of sugar.
Yeah.
And sometimes that sugar is a smile. Sometimes it's a hug. Sometimes my dad was just the best communicator. And
Yeah, actually, he was.
I really wish, the reason why we did a video, well, I wanted to do a YouTube show with him
Right?
many years ago because I was like, I just want to share you with the rest of the world because he's such a great father. And I just wanted him to, his love and his teachings to just be
Also,
shared.
if I can, like,
Thanks for watching the video.
hey, of course, come on.
That's very
yeah,
nice of
yeah.
you.
I mean, I'm just straight up, like no BS. You get like a superstar or something like that, and you can go many directions with the interview or whatever. But I got the feeling that you came here to change your life in a way, or to change. Not you always talk about change, but to enter it like the next stage, right? And so I really try to give a feel, researching for this, of your human side, right? When you talk about your kids, we'll talk about that in a bit. I have some questions. We talk about your kids, you talk about your family, and the things you've been through. And I think that's important, because if not, we always look at the whatever beauty is outside, and I think that that's a reflection of what's going on, inside, So yeah, that's why I really I pay attention, and I took notes and that, because I really think that many decisions maybe come from that place, from your connection with your dad,
Absolutely.
your family.
He's
right.
Antonio and Rosabel, my nanay and my tatay, they're
Sí.
my core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has a personal note because of also family that is not here or whatever. So yeah, okay. So now, I want to ask about being a mom, and being a mom abroad, and more like specifically being a mom here in Taiwan. So how is that experience? How that experience has been so far? What things you encountered that were great? What things you encountered that gave you some trouble? Right? Los hijos, the kids are Cinco and Teo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver and Theodore, Cinco because he's the fifth.
Oh yeah.
I guess I wouldn't be a mother if my husband
Yeah.
didn't ask me to start a family with him.
Yo.
So that was his line before we began this journey together.
Yeah.
He said, "Do you want to start a family with me?" And
Oh, that's really romantic.
and I really, when we met, I almost, because it was a very weird, like you said, I was at a fork in the road.
Yeah.
And here in Taiwan, I guess being a mother, it's really humbling because I only have memories of how I was mothered by my mom and how I was parented by both my parents. but I've been very blessed to, I feel like I was prepared. There's something with once you do become a mother or once you do become a parent, there's something inside of you that just knows
How to
that
do
you
it. Yeah,
you can do things.
Yeah.
But there's also, a lot of noise and
yeah. I was thinking
like
basic, like
loud and-
language or whatever, like going to a doctor or finding the right doctor, like more like basic,
practical stuff.
every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Sorry, I'm so.
It's okay, of
Ooh.
course.
Baby's like, okay.
Yeah, you sang, energized.
Thankfully, my husband, had a few years here in Taiwan, and he, grew up here, and he's able to help guide me whenever I'm in, situations where I need to communicate myself more and
Yeah.
better. Being in groups with mothers, like being on chat groups with moms, asking for advice and just, admitting sometimes like, oh, I'm having trouble with this or I'm having trouble with this. Can someone help me? And there's always a helping hand somewhere. So I've been experiencing, just warmth and goodness throughout.
Good.
Honestly, like I think so. The program or the visa program
Yeah.
I'm on is the gold card.
Yeah, of course.
And that's just, I guess it's really amazing because
I was going to ask you about that because when I came here, it was like super hard. That didn't exist.
got it.
Yeah. So how was it?
Definitely a blessing.
Yeah.
It was, we just tried to apply.
Yeah.
I gave it a shot and they asked for like a list of things that I've done in the past. And
And you were like, I got this.
no, I
definitely
was
got it.
hoping.
You know who you're talking to.
Oh, boy.
Are you talking to me?
I was really hoping that perhaps one of the things that I've done I've worked on would allow me to stay here. It was actually a children's show that I did.
Yeah.
Called The Art Angel. They saw that and then they saw the award somehow that me and the team won.
Yeah.
And it was like best children's show host and they loved that and they
Yeah.
said whatever you're doing now, whatever you would like to explore creatively, we welcome you to Taiwan and
So
maybe you can do it here.
With that in mind,
Yeah.
What would you like to do? Because they give you the gold card.
They
So
give you
now
the
you
gold
gotta
card.
do something, right? No? Yes? Maybe?
I see it as a privilege for sure and a blessing. And now I'm encouraged to meet people who are like-minded and who are great and just amazing musicians.
Yeah.
And it just kind of helped me refocus. I didn't really think that I was going to do music out here like 100%.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Just because I didn't study music for like college or,
Two of us. I just have high
Really?
school. I never even step foot in a university. I just have high school.
wow.
Right now, you go to Argentina to my house, and there's no piano. There was no. It was very hard growing up. So
Wow.
yeah, but you kill. I mean, you all just heard her sing. So yeah. So when we start writing songs, that's my question.
Let's do it.
We have to produce an album. Something gotta happen. Like you cannot let. Okay, now something's gonna happen soon.
Something's going to happen.
In October,
yeah.
you said, right?
There's so much feelings. There's so much like in the quiet, in the stillness now. There's like so much inside that I would like to create. And I'd love to meet people to collaborate with and
Yeah.
make music.
If you present like a proper project, Taiwan has a lot of grants for the arts. It's very supportive of artistic endeavors
Interesting.
in many different areas.
Wow.
Right? And for all the different communities, right? So What do you think? She should start writing originals, right? And she needs help from a pianist from South America. And I know.
Thank you for letting me play with you. That was healing.
Hey, come
Thank
on.
you.
I'm grateful. Okay, so we are about to close, but I wanted to know: are you planning to stay here long term? Would you like your kids to? Do you have that idea to stay here in Taiwan for 3, 5, whatever years, or you're just seeing it as it goes?
I am writing down some plans with my husband, but all our plans we commit to the Lord. It's really, even if we make the best plans and best strategies, but it's really up to
Yeah,
God.
of course, of course.
But right now, I just got approved for a renewal for my gold card, so we'll be here for another 3 years.
And I think after that you can apply for the permanent. Yes, no?
I hope so.
Yeah, of course. They will definitely give it to you. Yeah.
May I ask you something?
Sí, anything.
You asked me earlier, what
Sí.
is one great lesson that my father taught me? How about you? What is one great lesson that your parents have taught you?
My dad had a line that my dad is a very big sportsman, and when I was a kid, I was a very chubby kid. I had a lot of lung problems. I had asthma. It was very hard for me until I was like 20 something, right? And he would always tell me since I was a kid, you can always do one more regarding exercise, practice, whatever it is. You can always push one more, one extra.
Love that.
And that has been carrying me. The idea that, yes, I can do, and I believed it.
Thank you for sharing that.
Hey, no, gracias.
Beautiful.
Thank you for asking me. Thank you
so
for asking me.
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I'll
Okay.
remember that. One more push.
Yeah, yo, oh my, yeah. A ver, Roxanne Barcelo, okay? Yes.
Thank you.
Gracias. Thank you so much for doing this, okay? It means a lot. Appreciate it. And I hope we actually get to play a show together sometime.
I hope
At
so
least,
too.
okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.